Good afternoon, Pool Player Nation. Welcome to Orlando, Florida for continuing coverage of the 2023 U.S. Amateur Championship presented by APA and our coverage brought to you by our friends at PoolDog.com. I'm your host, Jason Bowman, and I'm joined by Team USA Moscone captain Jeremy Jones. Jeremy, second round action here in the women's division of this year's U.S. Amateur Championship.
Yeah, a nice win from Rachel, kind of leaving off how she did last year, runner-up. We're going to get into round two. She's into round two already on the outer table, but we're getting into the mix here in just a moment.
Yeah, no rest for the wicked here at the U.S. Amateur Championship. Now, the Women's U.S. Amateur Championship is comprised of 44 of the top players from across North America. Before we meet our participants in our next match, let's take a look at the U.S. Amateur Championship format briefly. The women's division is a double elimination race to 5. You'll see 3 games of 8 ball up to 6 games of 9 ball. The winner of the lag can opt to choose either the format or take the break. And we are going to now meet our 2 women who will be competing in this match. We've got from Leland, North Carolina, Laura George. Her opponent from Yorktown, Indiana, Jennifer Swenson. And I think the ladies are just about ready to go. So let's take you down into the pit for this second round action of the Women's Division U.S. Amateur Championship. And this is Laura George with the break. Ladies starting in the 8 ball set. A little more conventional than what we saw in that first match, Jeremy.
Yeah, a little more of what we're used to seeing as far as the selection process to start the match. Of course, not wanting to give up the break, and her opponent most likely picking 8 ball. And you just kind of figure both players get a little more time at the table in these 3 games and settle in for the 9 ball part of the set. That will have to be played in this race to 5 with only 3 games of 8 ball.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I thought I saw Jennifer win the lag, which would mean she opted for 8 ball over the break. I could be wrong about that, but I thought when I was walking by right before we got started, I thought Jennifer took the lag.
Well, that could be the case for sure. Occasionally we'll see it a little mix-up if someone really wants to start with that 8 ball, making sure the 8 ball is played in the set. So we saw that in our opener. There was no 8 ball with a 5-1 victory for Rachel.
Rachel Lang opened the day strong. She was the 2022 runner-up, and as Jeremy said, she's already in action here on another table. Here on the main table, we have Jennifer Swenson at the table now.
Yeah, nice opening here and a dry break, but they did spread nicely. Just going to come across for the 1 in the same corner. Maybe gets a nice friendly bump here on the 6. That'll help things. Don't think she can take on the 6 now. And I don't think that bump cut her off the 1 ball. It's close. But I think she can knock the 1 in lightly, kind of hold the cue ball for the cut on the 6.
Pull up the bios for these ladies so we can introduce you all to them. Again, Jennifer here at the table out of Yorktown, Indiana. Been playing pool for 25 years. Plays with a custom cue from Jim Sickles out of Indianapolis.
Yeah, so many cue makers now. When I first started, it seemed like there were 10 or 12, and now there's it just seems like thousands, really. Really nice shot there. Now decision. She's got a thin cut on the 2 on the side. A real doable 7 ball up in the corner. Now here you just want to come 1 rail right at the 2. Go between the 15 and the 12, is it, with the cue ball.
Jennifer says she previously qualified for a U.S. Amateur Championship, but COVID ruined her chance to play. So first time here in the championship rounds for her.
And maybe what we're seeing, what we're talking about with the 8 ball to start is, 9 ball tells you what you have to shoot. Sometimes it's long shots, very difficult. Where 8 ball, you get a little choice in the manner. And decision making, and you can start off with some simpler shots to get the run started and kind of loosen up the arm, and she's done very well so far.
Looks very comfortable.
Yeah, a little angle here on the 2, so she's going to go a little towards the 15. Taking a little bit of a longer shot on the 8, but shouldn't be a problem. Can't overlook this 2 ball, though.
And this is the second round of the women's division, U.S. Amateur Championship 2023. 2 in the side there for Jennifer. Making quick work of this first rack.
Well, just really ideal from top to bottom, and you can see how she qualified for this U.S. Amateurs before, and unfortunately
no wonder she
couldn't
picked
make
the 8-ball set.
Well, someone that's been playing a long time and plays a lot of league, they're going to be a little more on the 8-ball than 9-ball. 9-ball's really hit the leagues the last 10 or 15 years a little more. Oh, really solid to start here.
Nice start. Jennifer Swenson with a early 1-0 lead in this race to 5. While we've got a few moments, let's hear a word from our sponsors. Welcome back to continuing coverage of the women's division of the U.S. Amateur Championship. Jennifer Swenson approaching the table here with the break, currently leading 1-0 in this race to 5. We are in the second game of the 8-ball set. We'll see 3 games of 8-ball before the ladies switch over to the 9-ball set. Jennifer looked really good in that first rack. Did not have the break, but after the dry break by Laura, came out and ran out. So, oh, tough break for her. She scratches in the side.
Balls seem to be breaking open nicely. Lost the cue ball, but yeah, very clean out in the first rack. Really, everything looked like it was by design, which is a good feeling. You didn't have to kind of reroute your cue ball or alter your plan. And
it's a quicker rack than we saw in any of the 9-ball sets from the match we just had here featured. So, very quickly, Jennifer Swenson with a 1-0 lead. Again, this is a race to 5. Every game so important. Getting a look at Laura George once again. Laura had the break in that first rack, broke dry, and didn't have another opportunity. So we'll see if she can capitalize here.
Yeah, she was taking on a long ball in the stripe there, and great shot. I'm not sure if the 10 goes by the 4. It looks tight. If it does, that really opens up the rack. she can take care of possibly these 3 stripes on the bottom end, then go back up table for the other 3 stripes. Generally how you want to play 8-ball, kind of on one half the table, take care of that, then deal with the other half.
This year's U.S. Amateur Championship being played in a new venue here in Orlando. The Wyndham Resort Orlando on International Drive. Of course, this event is open to the public if you want to come down and watch some of these great players. 44 of the top women's players from North America here. You can come on down, plenty of seating. You might help warm it up, too, if you come down. So if anybody's got a space heater, bring it with you.
Yeah, you don't bring many jackets to the Florida area, but now's the time for one here at the U.S. Amateurs.
Much cooler here than it is outside.
Yeah, perfect weather outside, really. Been pretty perfect pool, though, so far for Jennifer. Hadn't missed a ball yet. A scratch on the break, which is always unfortunate, but okay, does she try to bump the 1 here, maybe going to the rail, maybe play short side on the 1? She keeps giving a little look at the pink 4 that's near the 10 on the lower right part of your screen, a real problem for the solids.
Jennifer cited her parents, family, and friends as major influences in her life and in her pool game as she pockets that 1 on the side. Been playing pool for 25 years.
Started awfully young, seems like. I'm on the 35-year mark, Jason, now.
35 years in the game, huh?
Yeah. Starting when I was 17, not to give away my age for all you mathematicians. But all right, she could shoot the 5 and maybe draw the cue ball. It looks like she's going to hit a high ball, maybe set up for the bank on the pink 4. I think that's what she was trying to get. Didn't quite get as well as she wanted, but maybe still playable. This is where the new felt, it's kind of hard to make these banks kind of stiffen up from these angles, so good effort. Now another look at Laura George, Leland, North Carolina. North Carolina is one of the states that has produced a lot of great players throughout the years.
A lot of 9-foot tables in North Carolina, in my experience, particularly in the Raleigh area.
Yeah, I played a lot of pool in Raleigh. Brass Tap Billiards, a famous pool room from there. Been around a long time.
North Carolina still the home of one of the real greats, Allison Fisher, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously originally from England, but has been residing there in North Carolina, I think, for the better part of the last couple decades.
Yeah, the Charlotte area. Of course, Earl Strickland, born and raised somewhat in North Carolina, raised in the Houston area as well. Just all through the years, though, it's always been a hotbed for not only great players but pool itself. Okay, putting it together here in rack number 2, and that's what will happen when your opponent comes out. It'll kind of give you a wake-up call as well. That's what we saw there with Jennifer Swenson in the first rack, just as smooth as silk.
U.S. Amateur Championship entry window for next year's event open today with the start of play. If you're interested in competing in this event, you can go to our website and get signed up. You'll compete in a preliminary round next September, and the top players there advance here to Orlando, searching for that coveted U.S. Amateur Championship title. I love that tagline there right in front of us, Jeremy. Tournaments come and go, but the title, U.S. Amateur Champion, lasts forever. I think if you were to ask a lot of the players here, that's why they do it. We mentioned in the last match. No prize money for this particular event. The winner, of course, gets that coveted title. Also moves on to a professional event next year, courtesy of APA. But
well, it's just like anything. If you look at the list of past champions, that really what motivates you to try to win any title, and pro or amateur, money or no money, doesn't really matter.
This is the 28th annual U.S. Amateur Championship. We were doing a little history lesson before our first match today. The first, little trivia, Jeremy, where did the first U.S. Amateur Championship take place?
Ooh. I'm going to guess St. Louis?
Not St. Louis. We'll see if we can get some commenters, see if anybody can guess before I give you the answer. Not St. Louis.
You know
I'll give you a tip.
You know
it's
why
not St. Louis, and it's, because we're in St. Louis. Not
right.
St. Louis and not Las Vegas. So.
Okay, well, I was just kind of guessing.
I'll just take 2 off the list
Vegas,
there.
So, what year was that? 1995?
1994.
94, okay.
1994. We were only in this city 1 year.
Oh, nice shot there. And Jennifer showing us her skills, having to dig on the cue ball there to avoid the scratch. And now she's got to draw the cue ball possibly to get on the 4. I'm trying to think of fun places.
I didn't say fun places.
Oh, okay.
I just said place. I guess it depends on your perspective of fun, but a bigger city, not one of the biggest cities in the country, but a metropolitan area, no doubt. Not Atlanta, not Atlantic City. I'm seeing some guesses come in. It's Jennifer Swenson.
Not New Orleans, maybe?
No, not New Orleans.
I think I would have remembered if it was Texas, where I'm from, so I'm going to eliminate
Not
Texas.
Texas.
Okay, is she going for the bank here? By the 8, it looks like it. Have a little speed on this.
Oh.
Good effort.
Dismissed. That'll bring Laura back to the table. Lots of guesses coming in. Of course, we were in Atlanta for a number of years, and then most recently in Tampa for more than 10 years, I believe, in Tampa. It was a great home for this event. I can remember the years up in Connecticut and Hartford we played. We had Laurel, Maryland before that. But if you go back to 1994, Jeremy, the very first U.S. Amateur Championship, won by Mr. Ron Park, was held in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Cleveland.
Yeah, big city. Up on the lake.
Ron Park.
Ron Park. I love that guy. We lost Ron a few years ago.
A couple years back now, yeah.
When I was on the road playing pool, one of my first guys I ever ran across that was kind of like a player, and Ron Park from New York City, but resided in the Carolinas for many, many years. Always had a smile for everyone he passed by. Ooh, watch out for the cue ball getting near this cushion. Very nice shot.
Chance for Laura to even things up at 1 game apiece. If she can pocket this 8 ball.
Well, I'm not sure if that's her real nickname on the back.
Teacup Tyson?
Yeah, Teacup Tyson.
It's kind of a cool nickname if it is.
Yeah, like to know the story behind that
Tyson. As she pockets the 8 in the corner without issue, she evens this match up at 1 game apiece. Again, this is a race to 5. We'll see one more game in the 8-ball set, and as the ladies prepare this next rack, we're going to hear a word from our sponsors.
Hey, listen, I know that you don't play pool, but my league team is looking for someone tonight who's never played, so you're coming with. Great, I'll see you there. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
Welcome. Welcome back. I can't believe it. You did it. We're going to Vegas. Vegas, baby. Oh my.
And welcome back to continuing coverage of the women's division of the U.S. Amateur Championship. Laura George at the table with the break. This will be the third and final game of the 8-ball set. We are deadlocked at 1 apiece. Dry break there. Bring Jennifer Swenson to the table. Again, this is a race to 5. 3 games of 8-ball, and then we're going to switch over to the 9-ball set.
Yeah, and both ladies have played really well. It's been a dry break in the first game for Laura, and then a scratch on the break after a nice clearance in game 2 for Jennifer, and now another dry break. And you would say it's obviously the stripes here, but you got to think about an 8-ball that's pretty covered up for later in the rack if you do take on the stripes. Now with all those stripes near that 8-ball, I'm sure Jennifer feels like she can get that 8-ball open, and she may have lost her chalk, maybe. Now I think I probably pick off the 13 and 10, and then just try and come down on this bottom end and concentrate on these 4 stripes, the 15, 9, 11, and 14 for later in the rack. Oh, she's trying to take care of the 8 now. That was all about moving the 8. Very experienced 8-ball player we have here.
Jennifer out of Indiana. Yorktown, Indiana. You ever been to Yorktown, Indiana? Doesn't ring a bell for me. I'm not sure where that's at.
I think maybe, yeah. Back in the day, we
There's
went
probably
there.
not many cities in this country that you haven't rolled through at some point, huh?
Yeah, we used to just go town to town back when we were younger and just playing pool with whoever wanted to play, win or lose. And a lot of those towns we made it through one way or another.
I think I heard you telling some of those stories on the Joe Rogan
Oh,
show.
yeah.
Of course, you did the Joe Rogan podcast. That's quite the that's the big time when you make that. How long ago was that? You did that about a month ago, 2 months ago?
Yeah, it was during the week of the Texas State Open. I'd met him in Vegas in March, and then he had hit me up asking if I was coming that way and for the tournament. And of course, he resides in Austin now. And,
Yeah.
we ended up playing, got together, played some pool, and then we talked about it. He was like, oh, let's do a podcast. And that just kind of developed quickly.
That's
and
awesome,
Yeah,
yeah.
we hung out for a few days, and he was a lot of fun, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Good pool player, isn't Joe Rogan? He's pretty solid with the cue stick in his hand.
Yeah, and I really feel like he could even improve a lot. Of course, he's a busy guy, and he's pretty intense everything he does. So he's a big hunter, loves pool.
Obviously
of course,
a UFC
busy guy.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Likes to throw some fists.
Yeah, he's big in his training and staying healthy, and and sharp individual.
That's
Really hopes Poole does well too, genuinely. So.
Well, he's certainly done his part to try to help out. I know
Yeah.
Federgorst was on there. Was that earlier this year?
Yeah, that was like February or March,
Yeah.
maybe. Now this 8-ball's gotten opened up a little bit, so does have a few pockets available. Not many. And that's what Jennifer's kind of sizing up now, I think, anyway. She has options on the 15, but does she want to take on the 10, a little tougher ball, to help her maybe get on that 8-ball later?
Jennifer wanted to thank her partner, Kayla, for all her support and always being there for her.
Yeah, support means a big deal. It's a big deal. As we know, just like any other sport, there's a lot of course, good times, good nights with this sport, but sometimes you can be a little crushed.
Right. Jennifer plays out of Big Shots and John Wayne's back in Indiana. That's a pool room you've probably heard of, right, John?
Yeah,
Wayne's?
John Wayne's for sure, yeah. I think it's, if I remember correctly, one that's been around a long time, and Jennifer showing us more of that experience. Really good stroke there. Didn't let the side pocket bother her. Just drew the cue ball past it.
Well, with the winter break format and this being the last game of the 8-ball set, you want to carry that break into the 9-ball and keep things going if you can. Jennifer grabs the bridge.
Yeah, I might take a chance if I'm comfortable here to go into the 5 with the cue ball. Kind of looks like what the cue ball wants to do anyways. And it could really help things not only for position on the 11, but position on that 8 here in a couple shots. Yeah, she got into the 5, but got a little thin on the 11, so we'll see. Tell you what, though, her instincts have been right on point from what I've seen so far. Now she's looking at what her options really are. If she takes on the cut, really the only option to get on the 8 is probably going up and down with a cue ball. Very difficult. So a lot of times when you're playing safe in 8-ball, of course this situation almost impossible to get ball in hand, but you play safe more with the object balls, meaning put the object balls in the way, make them some interference for your opponent, which is kind of what she's doing here, trying to cover up a pocket, playing it with a subtle speed.
Laura George back to the table now with a lot of room to work. A lot of balls on the table, but a lot of room to work.
Of course, coming here for the U.S. Amateurs, you have to do something in your region to get here to qualify, and that shows us that there's some pedigree with all these players.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just an entry fee and come play.
This is the first time that Laura has been at the U.S. Amateur Championship as well. So a couple of rookies we're watching here, Jeremy, in this round 2 match of the women's division, U.S. Amateur Championship 2023.
Well, I wish I looked that good as a rookie, Jason. These ladies have played well so far.
Playing on the 9-foot diamond table. 19 9-foot diamond tables brought in for this year's event. Rumor has it there was a 20th, but the 20th didn't make it in safely, apparently, from what I'm told. So, expensive mistake there from somebody, but
Yeah, hopefully no toes were involved.
yeah.
She playing a safety here, it looks like. Behind the 6, trying to leave something difficult. Of course, that 11 ball that's the last remaining stripe for Jennifer, but very smart shot there from Laura George. I think she got the full snooker here. So if she goes to the side cushion trying to kick at this 11, it should be with a relatively light speed. Not the hardest ball in the world to hit, but you have to gauge for the new felt. I like her line. I like her chances.
Beautiful. Now to contend with that 8 ball.
Yeah, another reason why she kicks soft is it wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world if she just hit it and didn't make it. Trying to leave, a lot of problems or as many problems as possible for her opponent. Looks like she's going to go for the bank cross corner, I think. I don't know if the cross side goes. It doesn't appear like it really plays.
If you're just joining us, you're watching the 2023 Women's Division of the U.S. Amateur Championship. Second round coverage here from Orlando. Here at the Wyndham Orlando Resort. Ushering in a new era for the U.S. Amateur Championship, taking it out of a pool room for the first time in its 28-year history. Moving it here to this facility, bringing in the diamond tables.
Well,
No scratch there. Brings Laura back to the table here.
yeah, how's that speed, by the way? Don't know if this cue ball got up on the corner. If it did, it's going to be a difficult safety. If not, she can just kind of roll off the right side of the 6. Her right side, let the cue ball float over to the rail, trying to utilize the 2 and blocking the black 8.
Laura says she plays with a Q-Tech. I'm sure you approve of that one, right?
Smart lady.
Yeah.
Again, doing everything she can to keep her opponent off a shot in this last game of 8 ball. Two very smart ladies playing.
As Jeremy mentioned, this is the final game of the 8-ball set. After this, we'll take a few balls off the table, move into the 9-ball format. See up to 6 games of 9-ball. Again, that's all part of the combination that you have to master here at the U.S. Amateur Championship. You can be really strong in one discipline, but you better be able to hold your own in the other.
Okay, it looks like she may need a little right spin the way she's aiming. Watch out for the 8 in the side. She's called in the upper corner. Nice safety from Laura has gotten her not ball in hand, but a nice shot to get started on the 5. I think it's very playable. You know as well as I do, at the end of these 8-ball games, the person that's just left with the 8, they're usually in a lot of dilemmas just because their opponent has the choice to play a lot of safeties. Just don't want to lose the cue ball here.
Several other matches being played here. The ballroom of the Wyndham. Jeannie Seaver, former champion, and last year's runner-up, Rachel Lang, going head-to-head. Love to get a score update on that match.
Yeah, they've both been at the table quite a bit.
Meanwhile, Laura George with the bridge here on the main table.
Yeah, and she knew she could play that pretty conservatively with the 8-ball kind of tied up. The blockers, the 1 and 2. So you got to pick out a pocket, Try making a good attempt at hitting this black 8, not to give up ball in hand. She'll probably call cross corner, yeah, as she does there. Trying to kick it and bank it. So it does need some speed. Hard to keep her opponent off a shot. That's not really going to happen. Not very often anyways. So just give your best effort to try and knock this big one in. Cool looking cue she has though. Kind of neat with the burl wood, it looked like.
I think she said she plays with a custom cue.
Did she say Sickles or something like that?
Jim Sickles.
Look at this effort. Really good.
Want to make sure we give a shout out to our sponsors. Of course, our friends at pooldog.com, our presenting sponsors of all of our streaming coverage, but our friends at Diamond Tables as well. Of course, playing on Aramith billiard balls here at the U.S. Amateur Championship. And our friends Action Cues. Appreciate all their support.
Yeah, nice to see you have a cue repair.
Got to have a cue repair at a tournament like this.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's great. Of course, the players get, first in that line, but I'm sure if you're a local, you can come down and get a little work done.
Yeah. A lot of APA players in this area, this Orlando area.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
A few different APA leagues right around this area.
There's a lot, period. Doesn't
Welcome
matter where you're at.
Welcome to make your way down here to the Wyndham Orlando Resort right here on International Drive and take in all this action going on for the next several days. Great area, lots to do. Dozens of restaurants, some attractions right here within walking distance of the hotel.
Yeah, busy area. And I'll tell you, I went to Walmart early this morning. I never seen a Walmart so busy at whatever time that was. And
yeah, I drove in from Tampa this morning. I-4, as you got into Orlando, was a crawl.
yeah,
It was a real crawl. Always something going on in Orlando with all the theme parks and whatnot in this area.
well, no more safeties for Laura. She's got to knock these in with the 8 looming.
Misses that too in the corner. And now Jennifer Swenson, opportunity to take the advantage once again. She can pocket this 8 in the corner.
Yeah, you got to fancy your chances, that's for sure. She's played super solid. Both the ladies have to start. They're going to have to open up the stroke a little bit on the 9-ball side of things after this game, but so far so good.
8-ball goes. Jennifer Swenson takes a 2-1 lead in this race to 5. As we prepare for the 9-ball set, we're going to take just a few moments to hear a word from our sponsors. back to continuing coverage of the Women's Division 2023 U.S. Amateur Championship here in Orlando, Florida. We have now moved to the 9-ball set. Ladies are ready to go. Jennifer Swenson will have her first break in the 9-ball set. Again, this is a race to 5. Jennifer holds a 2-1 lead after the 3 games of the 8-ball set.
Yeah, we'll see if the break kind of agrees with the ladies a little more in the 8-ball. After the break, though, they played outstanding.
Does pocket a ball on the break. Nice clear shot on the 1.
Yeah, and really kind of natural position to come across for the 2. See the 3 near the 1. So these first 3 not too bad. The 5, 6 kind of down on this end. So we'll see how she can get started.
Oof, fails to pocket the 1, scratches in the side. To give ball in hand to Laura George. Her first opportunity in the 9-ball set, trailing by 1 game. Laura here's been playing for 25 years. We mentioned earlier she's out of Leland, North Carolina. Originally from Charleston, West Virginia.
Nice shot there coming across for the 2. Should just try and draw the cue ball back a few inches here. For the 3 in the side. Cue ball should come off the rail just a little bit.
Laura cited our good friend Ava Lawrence as a influence in her pool game. Ava, the Hall of Famer. Of course, now an APA League operator in Coastal Carolina. APA, good friend of the APA. Sure she's tuning in, rooting Laura on here.
Yeah. Eva, been an influence to so many throughout the years.
Absolutely.
Always a breath of fresh air to be around. And now in a great position, though, Laura is. Come across real natural off the 5 to the 6. Caught it a little thin.
As a reminder, these players all playing on 9-foot diamond tables this year here in Orlando. Been a great year so far. Been using the diamond tables out in Vegas, now using them here at the U.S. Amateur Championship. Been quite popular with the players, Jeremy. They love the diamond.
Yeah, I'm sure. And this was y'all's first year in Vegas, correct?
Since 2002 or 2003. We did have a couple years, a couple decades ago that we had the diamond tables, and then
20 years.
For a long time. That was a very popular move to bring them back. Of course, they made some modifications on the tables we use in Vegas that allowed for that to happen, and has gone extremely well in year 1.
Yeah, I'm sure, and it's a hard table to beat. Usually very consistent.
What kind of table do you got at home?
I got a diamond.
Do you?
Yep. 1-piece slate. Okay, kicking across. This is a hard one to hit going this route just because the new felt. She'll have to go right by the 7. Yeah, good try. It's always difficult, though, and didn't really see a route that was was easy. Maybe the jump shot, maybe.
Ball in hand here for Laura George.
I like her choice there. I was going to say you can always set up, usually, not always, but most shots with ball in hand you can set up to draw or follow. And normally the following is the percentage play for a few reasons. First off, you're never going to miscue, really, following the ball. And you're always following to something in your peripheral. Whereas if you're drawing the ball, you're drawn to something that's behind you usually, and your speed control isn't quite as good. Nice angle here to come up near the 7 with the cue ball. And that's gotten her a couple times. Laura said it in the first match. The new felt, and it's hard to explain it, but the balls tend to cut a little easier. Of course, real clean pull balls as well. Looks like this angle, again, kind of sends her straight at the 7 with the cue ball. She overcut it as well.
That 6 ball just doesn't want to go in that corner. A new life here in this first rack of the 9-ball set for Laura. Again, she's looking to even this thing up at 2 games apiece. Race to 5. Day 1 action of the women's division of the U.S. Amateur Championship.
And that's why we'll see a few more 8-ball sessions to start some of these matches, just because they don't have to move the cue ball quite as often or quite as much. Settle in on pocketing the ball a little more. We've seen a couple misses here in the 9-ball, just I think because of that cue ball movement. Nice shot. Now in a prime position to tie this match at 2 apiece.
Eight in the corner. Just the 9 remains for Teacup Tyson.
Have to ask Eva about that nickname.
Teacup Tyson there on the back of her shirt. Some folks probably wondering what we're talking about when we say that, but Laura's nickname. As she pockets that 9 in the corner, and we are evened up at 2 games apiece, Jeremy, in this race to 5.
Yeah, solid clearance there from Laura, and she's got to feel good about that.
As we prepare the next rack, we're going to hear a word from our sponsors. right, welcome back to continuing coverage of the women's division of the 2023 U.S. Amateur Championship. Laura George with the break in the 9-ball set. We are tied at 2 games apiece in this race to 5. Ooh, powerful break there, Jeremy.
Yeah, you hear the corner ball just cracking the back of that pocket.
2 on the break. Nice shot here at the 1.
Yeah.
She try to make an early exit here. A little too risky.
I kind of don't feel like in this spot these ladies have both played really well. I mean, she's got an open shot. I think she feels like she can clear the table. Not an easy shot on the 1, but
Nothing doing there on the 1 for Laura. I'm going to bring Jennifer Swenson back to the table. Youngstown, Indiana.
yeah, I don't know if she chips the 1 by the 3, bringing the cue ball behind the 9. She could play it real soft, just kind of leaving it there. Trying to get behind the 5. Still didn't leave much on the 1. Maybe a cross corner bank if Laura wants to go offensive. Could shoot a 1-7 combination that's pretty low percentage, but definitely is possible. Really nice. Good effort.
This year's U.S. Amateur Championship being held here in Orlando, Florida for the first time in the event's 28-year history. Also the first time we've taken this event out of the pool room into convention space. Makes that 1 in the corner.
Yeah, real solid stroke. Maybe wanted a few more inches out of the cue ball. But a cross side bank does set up. Oh, excuse me, the 2's up the table. I kind of just looked at the 3. She's good on the 2. So now,
Yeah, from here kind of looks like the 8-ball. Looks,
yeah, I just kind of glanced and I just didn't realize it was blue 2 instead of the 8. So a little draw stroke here.
Both these players competing in the U.S. Amateur Championship for the first time.
Yeah, sweet setup and more people coming in. Seems like every minute. Of course, a lot of the open division players will be getting in today, I bet.
Yeah, they register later on today. If I know them, they'll be looking to get on a table as quickly as possible to get a feel for the conditions here. 128 players in the open division. Again, that kicks off tomorrow. We'll have the first round of the open division, as well as several rounds of the women's division as it moves towards its conclusion, including the championship round tomorrow.
Yeah, you can see the 4, 5, 7, 9 here left on the table. One of these players to grab a lead midway through the match at 3-2. That's the goal. Brian just comes across for the 5 in the side. Just kind of depends on how she wants to hit this. She's going to roll it, so she's going to play the 5 in the corner. Nothing wrong with that. Maybe work the cue ball a little bit Not so sure if she can get over straight in on the 7. Looks like she's pretty straight on the 5, so maybe just draw back a few inches and take the shot. So again, in the 8-ball, you don't have to work the cue ball that much, especially these ladies had real solid patterns in the 8-ball, so that means limited cue ball. But now you got to move the cue ball playing 9-ball. She decided to take the long one on the 9, so a real tester here in Game 5.
Gonna have to earn this one. I believe this would be Laura's first lead of the match, if I'm not mistaken, if she can pocket this 9. Been a solid match here in the second round for the ladies.
Yeah, really well played so far.
Can't cut that 9 though, and Jennifer Swenson looks to once again take a 1-game lead in this race to 5.
Tell you what, I was real happy with the way Laura swung the cue right there, though, so she just got to shake that off. That was a difficult shot on the 9, so got to figure she's going to get more opportunity. So you got to stay positive.
All of our streaming coverage brought to you by our friends at pooldog.com. I think we've got another couple of rounds today, Jeremy. There's that 9-ball goes in the corner for Jennifer. Takes a 3-2 lead in this race to 5. While we've got a moment, we're going to hear a word from our sponsors. Welcome back to the women's division of the 2023 U.S. Amateur Championship. Jennifer Swenson will have the break here. Now with a 3-2 lead. We started this match with a 3-game set of 8-ball. We are now in the 9-ball set. This match has been back and forth from the get-go.
Yeah,
dry break.
Dry break there. And table's breaking tough at the moment. It's amazing how that changes from match to match, sometimes day to day. They sell long johns in Florida? Jason? I don't know if they even sell those.
Maybe in North Florida.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe in North Florida. To clarify, it's not the outside temperature. It's the temperature inside here in the convention space. Guess they were planning for a hotter day, and we have the same challenge in Vegas. It gets so hot outside that you try to keep the room cool, but as it empties out, it gets colder and colder. So it's just temperature control in these big spaces is always a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah, and shouldn't complain, really. Most of the country's going through a pretty cold.
It was cold when I left St. Louis yesterday morning. I know that.
Wave of weather. So we're just steps away from that sunny Florida weather outside. So about 75 degrees.
Yeah,
out there.
beautiful out there. Sun is shining. A little breezy.
Now Jennifer wants to stay away from giving a ball in hand. She could kick to the short cushion she's near, go by the 5, and probably fairly certain contact on the 2. She'd go up table to the other short rail, come down by the 7, and get at the 2. But I like this route.
We got several dozen APA League operators here at the Wyndham this week. They're also here for one of our regional meetings. It's an opportunity for them to see the new facility here. So as they have breaks from their meetings, I see a lot of them filtering in and out. Of course, APA would not be what it is as an organization without our league operators. Appreciate all their hard work and effort. I've heard nothing but positive reviews thus far of this new property, our new partners here at the Wyndham. I had the chance to come down here last November, Jeremy, to look at this place for the first time, and we knew right away it was going to be a good fit.
It's surprising. A lot of property here.
A lot of space here. I mean,
Yeah.
there's space for us to expand this event at some point. Oh, 2-ball doesn't drop. Hangs up there in that pocket for Laura. And now Jennifer back to the table again. I will say it was hard for me to leave Tampa, though. I love Tampa, man. We were there for a long, long time. And Strokers, Jose Del Rio and his team took great care of us there. But I love the water, too. The hotel right on the water was
Yeah.
always. But this is a great property. Nice, very pretty courtyard area out there with the fountains and the ponds and the pool and everything.
Well, I think it was y'all's event that made me really like that whole Clearwater, Tampa area
Yeah, I
much
love
more
that
than I
area.
realized.
Yeah,
And,
it's a beautiful area of the country.
Been coming to Florida for a long time, but I guess I just hadn't spent enough time in Clearwater. But
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
That's my favorite area down here.
All right, looks like she's got to maybe get at this with a little side spin, a little right English to straighten out the cue ball. Otherwise, this may go a little long into that side rail. Yeah, just always a difficult kick with the, especially with the newer felt, the newer clean conditions.
Gonna be ball in hand to Laura. Trailing by 1 game in this race to 5.
Okay, she just wants to knock this in and come out to the center of the table, probably for the 3 in the left side pocket. Her left. Caught a little the point there, so got a little more speed on the cue ball than she may have wanted. Should be okay. She's just got to draw the cue ball off this 3 in the side to the bottom rail and back up for the 4, which is a long ways away. Saw my first Texas player, Jeff Georges, qualified to play in the Open event. Most likely in action tomorrow. She may have scratched here. No, she just dodged a scratch. Nestled the cue ball near the 3, so very difficult now for Jennifer Swenson with a 3-2 lead.
I was peeking ahead on the schedule here. We've got 2 more rounds of live streaming today. We got the 2:30 round and then the 4 o'clock round. Tomorrow we'll get started at 10:30. That's Eastern time, with continuing coverage of the women's division, and then at noon, our first round in the Open division, and then we'll switch back to the women's division for 3 more rounds thereafter. So as things wind down in the women's division, we'll be sticking with you the coverage there. And
that's including our final too, correct?
yeah, final will be tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time or thereabouts.
Ish.
That'll be an extended race. It's a race to 9 in the championship final. Of course, this event, double elimination up until the final, when it becomes that extended race.
Okay, just trying to get a 2-rail safety behind the 7.
That'll bring Laura back to the table here. Trying to even things up.
She's going to take a real light one to hold position, or one with quite a bit of speed to go up and down the table with the cue ball. Oh, real nice. Needs a bump off the 7. Didn't get it, so she's going to land a little on top of the 4 ball, but one that is bankable by the 5. She's kind of eyeing at the 9 a little bit. So looky here, she's sitting in the pink 4 at the 9. Well, it's going to be close.
Caught that 8 ball at the last second there. Well, if you're enjoying our coverage of this year's U.S. Amateur Championship, I'll give a shout out to our friends at pooldog.com. And if you're enjoying it, hop on their website, pooldog.com. Pick up their free catalog. It's one of the ways that we let them know that you appreciate this coverage that they're sponsoring. So, again, go to pooldog.com, pick up that free catalog, get a head start on the Christmas holiday season. That's a hint for you, Jeremy.
Oh, my goodness. Hint for my wife.
Mrs. Jones, I know, I'm doing her a favor.
Yeah.
She told me to give you a little nudge. Maybe pick up something nice when you're over there in London.
I think she might have bought a couple gifts already a few months ago. She was real proud of it, I think.
Yeah. Well, the ladies, they tend to prepare a little bit better than we do.
Yeah, kind of like those profiles you were talking about, those bios.
Yeah. Yeah, the ladies, much more adept at filling out the bios.
I think it's, you go into the doctor's office with the kid, you and the wife, and you just hand the clipboard over to the wife immediately. And it's just how it is.
Safety there by Laura.
Yeah, battling for this game 5. Jennifer trying to get on the hill. Laura trying to tie this match at 3 apiece.
I think our 2:30 match is going to be a little delayed, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Because it is 2:30 now, buddy.
Is it 2:30?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice hit with a little left spin. Real solid on the 4. We'll see how Laura wants to play this. Probably a safety. She could go for the bank. I think it does go by the 7. She's going to go for the safety, trying to bring the cue ball up behind the 6. A little shy. The 4 caught the 5, so now an opening for Jennifer.
Again, 44 of North America's top women's amateur players represented here in this event. We'll see another 128 come in the open division tomorrow.
By the look on her face, I think she's gotten snookered behind the 8. Nice shot softly on the 4, but wasn't soft enough. So now it looks like a pretty difficult hit, really. I think the 7 ball's kind of in the way of the kick to the top cushion. Could come across between the 6 and 9. Off the side cushion. It's not a bad route if she could reach it. Jeff Georges is a happy guy. He's from DFW area with the Rangers winning the World Series last night.
I didn't want to bring that up, Jeremy.
Yeah, I know.
I wasn't going to bring it up, but you went there.
Well, I got to give it to them. I think they were the best team this year. That lineup was something else.
All right. Ball in hand for Laura. Again, trailing by 1 game in this race to 5. Love to even things up right here. Take that break into the next rack.
Yeah, she got to come across, play between the 6-9 with the cue ball. Little short side position. Now earlier she took on a cross corner bank from this position. Now she's looking at maybe cutting this down the rail, so we'll see. Oh, sweet shot. Especially when the pressure's on.
Mm-hmm. Big time there.
So this is real natural. The 8 doesn't pass the 9, so she's got a nice angle to come across and play the 8 in the same pocket as the 7. About medium speed. Oh, I thought she made it. It was a real confident stroke. Been a couple little overcuts there for Laura. And really, like I said, she didn't really jerk at it, really didn't move with the body or anything, just maybe making the adjustments to the equipment. Yeah. Jennifer's got to ease this in a bit, play the 8 in the side most likely. You can see the 9 over the lower right corner.
Great opportunity now for Jennifer to move on to the hill, 1 game away from victory if she can pick up these last 2 balls. Eight in the side goes. Very makeable shot on the 9.
A little bit of a stretch, but shouldn't be a problem.
Nine in the corner drops. And Jennifer Swenson is 1 game away from victory in this race to 5. As we prepare for the next rack, we're going to hear a quick word from our sponsors.
And this is really going to help your game tremendously and truly put you to the next skill level. Hey guys, I'm Fernando Kohler, also known as Venom. I'm a professional pool trick shot artist, but also a league operator for APA in Las Vegas. There we go. Thank you. This one is using actually 10 balls. So what exactly is a tangent? There's, in my opinion, 3 types of bridge: the closed bridge, the open bridge, and the rail bridge. We're gonna start with the closed bridge. Now if you practice this, it's really gonna help you to go from a 2 to a 3. In this episode today, we're gonna cover how to go from a 3 to a 4. Let's get into it. The more you're gonna do it, see, as you can see, I touch sometimes a little bit of it. And 8, right? So you technically have 8 zones for 10 balls, so you have a little bit of room to spare. I really hope this was useful, and I cannot wait to see you for another video. Later, everybody.
welcome back to continuing coverage of the women's division of the 2023 U.S. Amateur Championship. Jennifer Swenson here at the table, trying to put this match away. She has a 4-2 lead, race to 5. See if she can get the 9-ball moving on the break, Jeremy.
Yeah,
End this thing with some quickness.
Been impressed with her so far, both ladies really.
Well, not much movement there. She's going to get the 2-ball. Nope. Dry break will bring Laura George back to the table, trailing 2 games.
Yeah, it's kind of
There's a time for a run
right?
out. Yep, this would be it. Pretty decent layout to start.
Yeah, the 1 and 2 kind of, I would consider these kind of cupcakes for these ladies here. And I spoke too soon.
Yeah.
Maybe she fluked it,
You
though.
nailed her.
See?
Commentator curse.
No,
Does
she
she get
showing
one?
us the 3 rather,
Okay,
that's all.
that'll work then. I was about to blame you for the commentator curse.
It's a real thing.
It sure is, isn't it?
Seems like
Funny
it.
how that works.
I see it in other sports as well, but they don't take the blame like we do in pool.
Yeah. There's a 2 in the corner.
Yeah, set up actually for a decent bank. Cross corner on the 3 that does offer position on the 4. This is sometimes you shoot 9-ball, especially you kind of backdoor into these runouts to where it's like, oh, I think I'm gonna have to play safe, but then you get just right to where you can maybe still attack. And I think she's okay here. Good effort.
Jennifer Swenson returns to the table. Several matches still in play. I was trying to see. Looks like the
Yeah, Jeannie and Rachel didn't waste any time.
I don't know
but
who.
that's the
I'm not
match
sure
that-
who won that match. Of course, if we pull up CompuSport, that'll give us all the information we need.
Yeah, just watching them leave, it looked like, a scratch here. Double kiss off the 3 and then off the 7 with the cue ball. But it looked like Rachel was leaving in a pretty good mood.
Okay.
You know, that's
It's
hard to
usually an
tell.
indicator.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, that's a tough match. Last year's runner-up against the 2021 champion, Jeannie Seaver.
Yeah, Jeannie's just been a great player for a long, long time. Known her since, I think she was 18 or 19, I guess. Her and her sister both played.
A lot of great pool players here in the Central Florida area.
Yeah, well, I lived in Jacksonville for a couple years, and they had, of course, a really good Florida tour for both the men and the women. That
Oh, yeah, really throughout the state, a lot of great. I mean, South
Yeah.
Florida's got some great players, too.
Solid stroke there from Laura. And this is where she's been really good in the 9-ball, just to, finishing it, right? That's what's gotten her a couple times. This 5's going to leak out a little bit, but it's going to be a very difficult shot and position, even tougher. I don't think it's really about the ball being pocketed that she's worried about. Again, it's position, I think. So maybe she plays a safety here or maybe a cross-side bank. Yeah, she's trying to play the safety, bringing the cue ball all the way back down. Smart shot, because if you don't get the snooker, look how difficult the shot is, not only on the 5, but to gain position back on the green 6. So real smart. See what Laura has in mind, just pocketing the 5. It's not easy, but really you got to move that cue ball.
Careful. Cue ball holds up in that corner. Got some work to do.
Man, this is where the new felt, the slick felt, makes it very difficult to hit this ball because the ball always wants to lengthen a little bit with the newer felt. And this will have her hitting probably about the middle diamond on the bottom rail, maybe narrowly missing the 6. Yeah, about like that.
Golden opportunity now for Jennifer Swenson. 4 balls remain on the table. 4 balls between her and moving on the winner's side of the bracket. I believe this is a winner's side of the bracket match.
Yeah, we haven't been told otherwise, but you know, Jennifer being from Indiana, I'm sure she knows of Tina Larson and all the noise she's made here at the U.S. Amateurs. So
3-time champion.
get a little taste of that herself. Okay, she can come by the 8 for the 7 in the side. She can go between the 7-8 for the 7 in the corner or the side. So we'll see. She tried to come at it. Cue ball went on her a little bit, fell forward a little bit. I think she can shoot this in the corner and beat the scratch, though. So fairly natural, even though a bit more of a shot on the 7 than she wanted. Now, this is the type of shot the new felt you can overcut a little bit. So we'll see. Real solid.
Jennifer looking to finish strong here.
I don't like her chances. I know I just threw her under the bus right there, but I do like her chances.
And now just a 9 ball away from victories. Jennifer Swenson throws a little chalk on that tip. No commentator curse there. She fires that 9 ball in the corner and takes that match 5 games to 2.
Real solid from both the ladies there.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations to Jennifer Swenson with a victory there, 5-2. We'll have more continuing coverage of this year's U.S. Amateur Championship shortly, so make sure you come back and join us. Until then, we're going to say goodbye for just a little while.